guys, welcome back to Lez Be Honest Podcast. This is your host, Kinley. I'm thrilled to bits to announce that the one and only Lindsay Bennie is gracing my podcast. She has over 110,000 followers on Instagram, at least the last time that I checked. Over 500,000 on TikTok, and her lovely fiance have about 135,000 followers on YouTube. That's crazy. Also, that's amazing. Good for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The LGBTQIA plus community just loves you guys. So I just want to thank you for being here. And as you can see, I'm just really pumped to have you on. So everyone, welcome Lindsay.
Hey, what up? Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I'm glad that we could finally find a time to do this for y'all listening or watching. I have rescheduled, I feel like 10,000 times, so I'm so sorry.
It happens. It literally happens. You're so busy. You're so busy, so it's expected. It's okay.
Yeah, too busy.
But you're here. You rescheduled with me, so I respect that. You didn't just
yeah.
You good.
And I respect what you're doing, and I love this, so I'm excited.
Awesome. Okay, let's hope I don't keep stuttering. For my listeners, I literally started the podcast and I stuttered immediately, and I was like, no, but it's okay.
Dude, it's so fine. Believe me, I'm so used to it, so I do it too.
Okay. All right, so let's just start from the jump. So where did you grow up?
Okay, yeah, I grew up, well, I was born in Texas, little fun fact, but I didn't stay there very long. My parents were both in the military, so when I was really young, we moved a lot, but I ended up in North Atlanta, and I like to say Johns Creek because it's worse known as Forsyth County, which I don't know if anybody knows about Forsyth County, but it's not very good up there. It's not very inclusive, not diverse at all. So Johns Creek, Forsyth County area, it's 45 minutes north of the city of Atlanta. And then, yeah, I've just been in Atlanta ever since. So.
Okay, period. What part of Texas were you from?
Well, I was born in, it's literally so small. It's called Wichita Falls, Texas. It has an Air Force base.
Yeah.
So that's where my parents were at. And then, but I was there until I was 1 year old, and then I moved to Ohio. And so I don't even remember it.
Is Wichita maybe, okay, so first of all, I'm in Texas, so I should know where this is, but.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Yeah. Is Wichita near the Fort Worth area?
Well, it's an hour. So I think Dallas is by Fort Worth, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's I used to, for work, I actually would fly into Dallas, and then I would drive to Wichita Falls, and it was an hour and a half from that area.
Gotcha.
But it's so small, nobody would know about it.
No, I've totally heard of it. I just am horrible with locations. I'm I've heard of that city, but where, give me a map. I have no idea where it is. I just know it's in Texas.
Dude, me too. I'm so geographically challenged. Victoria's always babe, in my own city, I have to put on the maps no matter where we're going. So I have no idea.
No, that's literally how I am. I should know my way around. I should know how to get to downtown Austin from where I'm at. And I still don't. And I have to put it in the maps because, I don't want to, get lost.
Yeah, I feel we're very spoiled with the GPS and maps now that we don't even try. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. It's just to be safe, you're just going to put it on the maps.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so where did you go to college? And what did you study? That kind of stuff.
So I went to college in Atlanta at Georgia State University. Go Panthers, bleed blue. And I studied psychology when I was there. When I was in high school, I literally, I wasn't too heavy on the academics, but I did love psychology class. I was in AP Psych, so I was yeah, it was the only class I actually paid attention in and I actually liked learning. So yeah, I got my bachelor's in psychology and I have a minor in Spanish, and and I went to school in the city, which really just broadened my horizons, especially from growing up where I did. And I just feel really blessed to have gone to that school. I think it brought me a long way.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also went to college for psychology. I remember I loved it. I loved the classes, and I remember there was one class that I think it was called like social psychology or something like that, and it seemed interesting. And it was a class I had
Yes.
to take. Like I had to take it. And I looked at like Rate My Professor or whatever, like right
Uh-huh.
before the semester started, and he had a horrible rating, and I was like, damn. And yeah, I failed it. I'll be honest, I failed the class. And
That's
that
not where I thought that was going at all.
no, yeah, failed it. And it really discouraged me, and so I was already like pretty far in my like psychology classes, so I was like, I don't just want to like waste all of that, you know. So anyways, that's my minor. But I loved psychology,
Okay.
and that's where I was trying to get to.
Yeah, no. I mean, psychology I mean, I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but I feel like we use it the most. And
Yeah.
I loved social psychology, but my favorite class that I ever took in college was interpersonal relationships. And it just talks about like all of your relationships in your life, like friendships, family dynamics, romantic relationships. And it taught me so much. Like I always think about that class, like to this day. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, I feel
So
like
yeah,
that's literally something that is so beneficial, like day to day, you know.
exactly. All the time. I'm constantly thinking about it. So yeah.
It's funny. Okay, so when did you come out? What was your coming out story? How old were you? Just give us all the tea.
Okay. That's a lot of tea.
Let me take a sip real quick.
mhm. I got my wine right here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it says Mrs. Always Right. And here
Oh,
it has Mrs. Right, and then this one's Mrs. Always Right.
so cute.
Okay, yeah, so honestly, I came out, I think, I mean, in my standards, pretty late in life. Growing up, I, the only, representation that I saw was my best friend growing up. She's actually going to be one of my bridesmaids still in my wedding. She had two aunts in her family that were gay. They were sisters, and then one of them had a long-term partner. So I knew, I knew what gay was. We were like, we loved them. We were always supportive, and I like posted this other day on TikTok. Me and that friend, her name's Lindsay as well. We went to like Pride in high school just to like support as like allies and everything. But like low key, I had my first crush on a girl when I was in, I think like sixth grade, and it was one of our other best friends. And so I knew what it was like right away, but I was like terrified. I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Totally.
not happening. Like, this is scary. And she actually moved to Utah like shortly after I realized that I was like feeling like some sort of way. And I remember being so like thrilled. I was like happy that she was like moving, but I was like sad, but
Yeah,
not
yeah,
really.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, so that was like my first time like realizing, oh shit, like this is like some gay stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Some gay stuff.
This is like, so basically since then I went through high school. I had a boyfriend, like a serious relationship. It was like 6 months, but like at that time it felt like 10 years, you know? But I remember, all through high school, I would just like have these like feelings, but I would just like push them down, like don't think about it. I would be, praying at night or whatever, that I would just wake up and not feel this way. And then I eventually like broke up with my boyfriend in high school. I told him whatever reason, but I knew I was just like scared. I was like, I don't fucking know what's happening. And then, like, meanwhile, I'm like on Tumblr or whatever, like reblogging like gay stuff. Wait, can I curse?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, this is chill. I'm like reblogging like gay shit, like, but like actually not really, because I was terrified of anybody else finding out that I was gay,
Yep, yep.
So basically that continued through college too, and I also didn't like in college I was like pretty, I just knew, but I was trying to find that one guy that was just gonna like, make it work. I was in the mindset of I'm just gonna find one guy that I can like deal with for the rest of my life and like I'll just stick with that person. But turns out that doesn't happen even if you have really close, like I had like a boyfriend or whatever in college, and like I liked him, he was cool, like we were friends, but still doesn't work. Yeah. And so I was also like in a sorority in college, so I was just kind of like experimenting, like, going out and doing whatever, just, and I would be on like Tinder and stuff, and I would want to like switch it to girls, but I didn't want anybody else to like see me on there. So I just, nothing.
Yeah.
All through college. And then it was like right after I graduated. Oh, there's the kitty cat. Look, my dog's right here. Come here. No? Oh, he was right here too. I was just, the whole time I was just desperate to never be found out, like I would always be thinking, oh my God, can they tell? But so, yeah, so I didn't do anything throughout college. I didn't even experiment with girls or anything at all.
Wow.
But right when, yeah, that's crazy. Like,
yeah, I feel like a lot of people do experiment in college because I feel like that's the time when you do experiment, like honestly, like with anything,
yes,
So that's crazy.
exactly. And like, because that is the time to do it. But like I said, I was like, first of all, who am I going to experiment with? Second of all, what if they go and tell other people, Like, I was just,
You were just scared.
yeah. So then, I graduated college, and I remember I went to this, I used to go to a lot of like raves and, music festivals.
Yeah.
So I went to this music festival, and this girl just like came up to me, and she just like started like heavy flirting with me. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna roll with it. And then we just, it was after that, it was history. And then I started like talking to her for a little bit. And that's when I told my best friend, who was my roommate at the time, because obviously she was going to be like coming over and stuff. So I ended up telling her first. I told some other friends, and then I told my parents like almost a year later after that. So I was like 20, I was 22. Yeah. Yeah, I know. So it was like kind of late. I was 22 and then 23 when I ended up telling my parents. So I
Wow.
was like fully out.
I feel like, I feel like everyone comes out at their own time, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of people that I talk to, they talk about how colleges when they experimented and it's honestly kind of sad because everyone that I talk to, they're like, I knew way before I came out. I just was scared, or like I just didn't know how to bring it up to, my mom or my best friend or stuff like that. So it's honestly sad how there's so many people that are just so fearful to come out. It's like, I get it. Like, it's understandable, especially with the world that we live in. But I'm hoping things just get better.
Yeah, and like, I think, I love to think that things are getting better. But that's just from a bird's eye perspective, or like hindsight, or just me being older and like seeing younger people who are out.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like a lot of people, a lot more people are out in high school than ever. At least where I went to school, there was maybe like one gay guy, and he got bullied like so bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just like it was unheard of at my high school, and then now. And granted, like I'm saying, I don't know how it is where I grew up still, because I don't really know any kids who are going there now. I would imagine it's probably still the same-ish, but I'm hoping, yeah, like you're saying, that it has to get better, it has to, because
It has to. That's why I know you posted this on your story of like figuring out if you're registered to vote and stuff like that. Like, it is so important. Like, this upcoming election, it's so important.
I mean, this is one of the most important. I know we say that every time, but I feel like it gets more and more important as we get more and more divided because of who the presidential election nominees are. Like, it becomes more and more important for people who are oppressed, like oppressed groups, gay, all minorities. So it's so important.
It is so important. I know. It's funny when you posted that. I literally checked to see if I was registered, and I am. So I'm like,
I know. I was like, well, I know that I am, but like, let me just go make sure. So y'all, everybody listening, y'all better check, see if you're registered to vote because it's coming up.
No, seriously. And it's really easy. You just have to like type in your information and then it'll tell you like you've registered or whatever it says.
Yeah. Like yes or no. And it's so funny because I think that Victoria and I are still registered to vote in Forsyth County where like we used to live with my parents. And we had been keeping it that way because we feel like we are gonna like cancel out 2 votes up there because I feel like they need it more.
No, that's
so we're like, we should just go there. I don't know, like that's probably not how it works, but
I don't.
But like,
I think
where we live now, I feel like we're more safe. So I'm like, let's go up there to vote.
Honestly, I don't know if that's how it works. I thought it was like where your like address is, like where you are living is where you. Or maybe not. I mean, maybe you can.
Well, you have to like re-register. So we've updated our licenses and stuff, but like our registration is still there, but we'll probably get it changed so that we don't have to drive as far. But yeah, it was just funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Okay, so when you came out, well, you said you had queer representation. You said your best friend's aunts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so was that... So both of her aunts were gay?
Yeah, like her dad has 2 sisters and they were both gay. And then one of them had like a long-term partner. Period. So it was like 3 gay women at all their family functions. And they're
Would you say that's like the first queer representation that you remember while growing up?
Yeah. I mean, if not only, but I felt like from them I learned a lot, just by, observing and, because I was like, we were like sisters growing up. So I would be on every family vacation and it was just like normal.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that was pretty much it. But if I'm thinking elsewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Nowhere else.
Well, shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them. And like, they always talk about like how now I'm out and her whole family's like, they say hi, they love you. And I just always think about, I'm just thankful that I did have them pretty much growing up to like look at, and to just realize that they were like, they're normal, they were normal people. They were just gay,
It made it more normalized for you. Like when you were going through those times where you were like, there's no way, or like you were having like mental battles or whatever. It was like them who you could think of to be like, well, I mean, they're gay, so like, what's the big deal,
Yeah, they're chilling, they're having fun. They were so fun. Like I literally loved them. So yeah.
Oh, well, shout out to them. So when you came out, would you say that you had support with your family and your friends, or no?
I always have to acknowledge my privilege and in whatever aspect that is. And I understand 100% that I was so privileged in my coming out story and like my experience. I was afraid to come out for so long, but I always knew that my parents were going to be supportive. I just didn't want our relationships to change or like for them to think anything of me, or like I was afraid that my mom's dreams of my future were going to die, basically, But I knew that once I just said it, they were going to be supportive. Yes, they had questions. Yes, they were probably surprised, but overall, I was very, very blessed in that aspect. And then, I had some friends that I told right away, like, I knew that they were like so chill about it. And then there was like other friends, from where I did grow up, like my high school, that I was a little bit more hesitant to like talk to them about. But overall, I had an amazing coming out experience, and again, I'm recognizing that that is definitely not the norm, but it is possible for some people. So overall, my family and my friends were great coming out. I think it was more of just like internalized homophobia, basically,
Yeah.
or just like being scared of the future, the changes and everything.
Totally. No, I can relate to that 100%. I would say that my coming out, like me coming out, my coming out story, I was very privileged. Luckily, my sister was like a big advocate just to begin with. Like, honestly, like she was always a big advocate, even when I wasn't out yet. And so I knew coming out to her, it was going to be easy. So I
Mhm.
came out to her first, and she was like, "Oh my God, like cool!" Like it was like the thing, but then it was also like, "All right, like like what's the big deal?" It was like
Yeah, yeah,
no big deal to her, which I appreciated. I didn't really want like a big reaction,
yeah,
whether it's bad or good, obviously. But
right, exactly.
coming out to my family, yeah, I was definitely privileged. It was pretty smooth sailing for like on my end. My mom, she kind of grew up like conservative Christian. So
Mhm,
she kind of had to navigate, me coming out. And
mhm.
it was kind of like what you said, like you didn't want to like disappoint your family or your mom,
Yes.
and it made you sad to think that like, well, their view of my future like might not be the same anymore because of me coming out.
Yeah.
um, I felt the same way. And there were times when I would talk to my mom and she'd be like, "Well, are you still going to have kids?" Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, "Mom, I can still have kids." And like that was just like she's been really good at like learning about, you know, all of the stuff, being educated about it. So anyways, I'll stop ranting. But
Yeah.
I
No, I love it. No, I'd love to hear it. Yeah, like, and I think I thought of a couple things when you were talking. Like, number one, while we, like, you and I both kind of knew or felt that our parents would be supportive when we came out, we were still so scared too, because the world and your peers and just everything that you see all the time impacts you so much that like it's still so scary. But at the end of the day, I think that when your family is supportive, it goes so far. Like so far. And that's why, you know, especially us thinking about having children, like no matter what, and when you decide to have a child, you have to be ready for anything. And if your child being gay is the worst thing that happens to you, believe me, baby, you are good to go. But like some people don't think that way, and it's absolutely wild to me.
yeah,
Um and yeah, like family support goes so far. So
it does go so far.
me and you are blessed.
We are, and it honestly like people don't realize. I mean, I'm probably just saying what you're saying, but it's like people really don't realize how important it is to like have a sense of community around you, whether it's your family supporting you or your friends or just like a person on the internet that's just like, "Hey, I see you," like,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know, in my brain I'm like, why is it so hard for people to like get with it? But then
Exactly.
but then
I don't know.
like
I don't know.
people grow up a certain way, like, and they are so stuck in their ways, and it's just like, it is what it is, I guess. Like, you can't really do
Yeah.
anything about it.
I think like a lot of times people have to have either experienced something themselves or have had somebody very close to them experience something to open their like brains and minds and hearts to a certain situation, where we should really try to like practice just being open to experiences that you have no idea about, but you understand that that's somebody else's experience that you may not understand, but you can still support and you can still love them, and like, I don't know.
Especially when it's like, no, I hear you 100%. Especially when it's like, why can't you support me whenever, like, what I'm doing isn't harming you, or it's not, you know, hating against another group. I literally just had an episode with this guy. me and him were talking about it, and it was like, he was kind of saying the same thing. And of course, what I immediately thought of was, well, I'm not going to support like a Trump supporter that's extremely ignorant and is just hateful, you know? And he was like, well, yeah, of course not, because the difference is like us in our community, you know, like the gay people, like we're just here wanting to love. And that's the difference. Like we're not wanting to, you know, have any hate towards another group. We're just chilling. So it's like, why wouldn't you support me? And so that's the difference.
Yes, and that I was just having this conversation the other day with my mom, and we were just talking about, you know, politics and everything. And I was just saying, you know how you hear the like phrase or whatever that's like, politics shouldn't matter, like it shouldn't tear apart friendships and things like that. And that's always coming from somebody who is opposing things that directly affect my life, my fiance's life, our life every single day. Whereas you're voting against these things that don't affect you every day. So why, you know what I'm saying? So yes, you can ignore that I am trying to fight for those things, but can I ignore that about you? No.
Exactly.
You know, it doesn't really go both ways, especially with, again, the upcoming election and like Project 2025 and all of that craziness. Like, no, sorry.
It's different.
Not happening.
Yeah, like it's different. No, I literally was just having this conversation with my mom too. Because she has always been the one to be like, Kinley, don't get into politics. Like, don't get political. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. And then once I came out, she's like, okay, like this.
We ride, yeah.
It's like, this shit is crazy. And it like opened like her third or something. Like she.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah, and so me and her talk about that, and I'm like, remember when you used to say that? And she's like, well, I'll be honest, it was because like I was privileged. Like I didn't. Right. I'm a white woman that's not gay. I live, you know, very well. You know, we're middle class. Like we don't have to worry about anything. And I'm like,
yeah, the world is meant for, you know, white upper class people, you know, so anybody else has to fight for, you know, what they need and their rights. So
totally. Yeah. And so now I'm like, Mom, there's a big difference. And she gets it now. But yeah, I can talk about these politics forever.
I know.
I should put that as like a little section in here, but it's not. Okay. Moving on. Okay, let's talk about you and your fiance. So how did you guys meet? When? What is the story?
Okay, I'm gonna pour some more wine. Hold on. Okay,
that's fine.
It's Friday night, so you know what I'm saying?
It's Friday night. What are y'all gonna do tonight? Are y'all just chilling?
No, we're just chilling. So, all right, so the year was 2018, and, you know, I'm just scrolling on Twitter. That's probably, I don't know, people still, well, it's X now, but I don't even get on Twitter anymore. But I used to be heavy on Twitter.
Oh, me too.
And, right, like, it was so fun over there.
It was hilarious. Like, people would post the most, like,
insane things.
Yeah, I'm like, that's crazy work. Like, that's crazy.
It's insane. But yeah, like it used to be so fun. And anyway, so I was just scrolling or whatever, and a viral, you know, thread pops up. So I was like reading it, and it was about this girl, and she's an Uber driver, and she picked up this other girl who was like crying because her boyfriend basically like ditched her, and now she was like in the city by herself. And the Uber driver was Victoria, and so she was like telling the story, and I was like, oh, like, you know, cute story, whatever. But then she was like live tweeting their whole night, where she asked the girl like, well, do you want to come out with me and my friends instead? And yeah, so they like took this girl, like this white girl, out with her and all of her friends to the club, and she was like live tweeting like pictures, and like they were having a good ass time. Like the girl was like having fun, and it was just like sweet. And in the thread, it was like a picture of her, and I was like, oh, she's like cute or whatever. So I followed her. And let me be quite clear. I'm not attracted to straight girls at all. So I definitely got a vibe, even though she wasn't out at all. Like, nothing said that she was gay, but I was like, yeah, like, I'm gonna go follow her, you know, like, she's cute or whatever. So that was it. Like, I just followed her from that story, and she would like tweet. She was like, you know, back in the day, she had like a lot of viral tweets or whatever. So her tweets were funny. So I was like following her, and then in like February came around, and she tweeted, like, if anybody wants, or if any girls want to ask me out for Valentine's Day, like, I'd rather go out with you than like a crusty man or something like that. And I was like, let's go. Here we go. So I DM'd her. But wait, no, was I out? Yeah, I was out. I was already. Well, no, I wasn't. I don't remember. No, I was out. Okay. I was like talking to this other girl, but like that's irrelevant. But I slid into her DMs, and I was just like, I'll take you out, like, whatever. And she was like, oh, like, before I get excited, like, where do you live? And I was like, I'm in Atlanta. And she was like, oh, well, I'm in Miami. And I was like, okay, well, if you're ever like up this way or whatever, like, we can make it happen. She was like, okay. And then that was that. And then we didn't really talk after that, but I was still following her. And then I really knew, like, okay, you know, there's some gay, there's a little sprinkle in there. You know what I'm saying? So
penis in there.
Yeah. So then she tweeted later on about EDC Orlando. And like I told you earlier, I used to go to like music festivals, and I was going that year, and I was like, oh my God, like, are you going? Because we can like meet up. And she was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going, but hit me up if you end up going. Maybe I'll like slide through. And she gave me her phone number. So I mean, that it was a wrap after that. I just I'm just waiting. I ended up texting her or whatever, and then we just started FaceTiming, and we were FaceTiming like all the time. And probably like 2 weeks later, she came up to Atlanta, but she did it smart because her sister was also coming to Atlanta for like a different trip. So she was like, I'm just coming with my sister, you know, and then we can like meet up when I'm there. So that way, you know, if we hung out in person and we didn't vibe or whatever, it was like fine.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she came up and we hung out, and she stayed for like, I think like 2 weeks, and then you know how it goes.
I was about to say, that's like the ideal like first lesbian date.
Exactly. Like, why are we like this? I don't know, but that's how we are. And then from then, we were basically like long distance from then. And then she moved to Atlanta a year later.
So y'all were dating for a year, and then she moved in with you.
Yeah. She, like, when we first started talking, we always talk about this, like, I didn't know if she liked me. Like, I thought, like, we would be on FaceTime all the time and stuff, but she would be saying that she didn't want anything serious, and she was saying, like, she was just scared. Now I know she was scared because this was also her first, like, real experience with, like, a woman. So, but I was like, you know, what are we doing? At a certain point, I was like, you keep saying you want to be single, so why are we flying? You know, why are we doing this? But then she asked me to be her girlfriend in October. And so then pretty much when she asked me to be her girlfriend, that was like confirmation. Oh, like, you actually,
yeah,
you know, like, you actually like me. But then, yeah, so since then we were long distance, and then we moved in together after a year.
Oh, so y'all's anniversary is in October.
Yes. So our anniversary is October 12th, and then I asked her to marry me on our 4-year anniversary on October 12th, and then our wedding is on our 6-year anniversary on October 12th.
Oh my God!
I have no idea, but it worked.
I was just about to say, is y'all's wedding gonna be on October 12th?
It happened to be on a Saturday, which is insane, and I mean,
Yeah, it had to
yeah,
happen. Honestly, it's like, it's fate. It's like,
I know. I love it.
this is like meant to be. Oh,
Now we only have one date to remember, so that's good.
no, literally. I was just about to say that. Oh, y'all are so cute. I saw y'all's, what is it called? Engagement photos. Y'all just did those like a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, we've had a couple of photo shoots, but I mean, I guess that's engagement photos. I was calling them bridal photos,
Oh,
but
yeah, sorry.
no, she was there. It's an engagement shoot, but like we've been engaged for like 2 years now, and I'm like, we're closer now to the wedding than we are to have been, being engaged. So,
Yeah.
but yes, we did. We had a photo shoot the other day. It was so nice.
And it was cute because I think she posted some, or did you?
We collabed, so she posted them, but
Like she did.
I'm a mooch. I'm a mooch. She just posts everything, and I'm like, okay, collab with me.
Just follow along.
Yeah,
That's good. That's
literally.
how it should be.
I'm like, okay.
Okay, so you guys are obviously an interracial gay couple. In a world like this, and I'm also in a gay interracial couple, so I just wanted to ask you some questions. Have you faced any like unique challenges as a gay interracial couple?
I mean, yeah, probably unique, I feel like being in an interracial relationship from the jump is going to be unique. And, we're always teaching each other a lot of things. And I think she teaches me more than I teach her, just because, like, growing up, Black people have to know everything or just end up knowing everything about white people and white culture because that is the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the world we live in. They know all the movies that we've watched, all the classics, all the songs, all the actors, actresses. You know what I'm saying? So, but when it comes to us knowing about how they like their culture and like growing up, honestly, overall, we're clueless. And it's like living in two different worlds. So that's why I say, she's taught me way more than I've taught her, at least just about like those types of things. So, um, that's, I always like cherish that. And obviously I've, put her onto something, casserole. She does love green bean casserole now. It's like one of her faves. So, you got to give it credit, but
Oh, that's the whitest dish ever.
it's so good though. I make it a little bit different, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. But yeah, so just like learning from her all the time and
Yeah.
just culturally, I mean, it's different, like our families are different. I have a very small family. I mean, my mom, I'm Puerto Rican as well. So I have a big Puerto Rican side. They live in Kissimmee, Florida, like near Orlando. So when we go see them, it's like it's a big party and I love it. But like my immediate family is very small. So, things are quiet and stuff. And then when we go to her house, it's like loud, it's like chaotic and stuff. So it's like I had to get used to that at the beginning, but now I love it. Like, and then just like overall in the world, you're gonna have people who don't like you, because you're gay, because you're interracial, both ways. People are gonna be mad and I think, we briefly talked about this before, but those are mostly online, hate comments and stuff, which are easier to ignore and just like scroll past. But in real life, in Atlanta, it is very diverse. There's a very big gay community. Racially, it's diverse. So I think we've been pretty blessed in living in Atlanta and especially like where we bought our house as well. It was super important for us to be in a diverse neighborhood, especially like for us and for our like future kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, we couldn't have gotten we are so lucky with where we live. So,
Aww.
yeah.
Well, good. Yeah, I definitely can relate to that. I'm obviously in Austin, Texas. I'm still in Texas, but Austin is way more accepting, and so I am very thankful that I am in Austin because the outskirts of Texas can be very hateful, and just very closed-minded. So I'm
Yes.
very blessed to be in an environment and a location that's pretty accepting. I mean, you still have those weirdos that are just weird,
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna have those everywhere. We actually went to Austin Pride one year and it was really fun.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
actually I didn't go this year. But yeah, Austin Pride it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. There's
Yes.
so many things to do. The bars are a lot of fun, but that's cool. If you guys
Yes.
ever come down again, let me know.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love, honestly, like I travel for work, so I go a lot of places, and Texas is one of my favorite places to go. So Austin, Houston, I love. It reminds me of Atlanta, and yeah, so I'll definitely
Have you ever
we
been
can.
to, yeah, for sure, let me know. But have you ever been to Dallas?
Yeah, in Dallas,
Okay.
love it.
Dallas is cool. Dallas is a little bougie. And they're known for that. Like they won't people like my listeners, if they're from Dallas, they won't take any disrespect. They're like, yeah, um,
Sorry, Dallas.
Dallas is known to be bougie, and I actually have a best friend that lives in Dallas, and she's a bougie bitch, and I love her. But she's like,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's like good for her. She owns her own business, like she's a boss bitch. But it's just funny because every time I hang out with her, she's like taking me to like these bougie spots, and Austin's known for like, I mean, Austin has their little bougie areas, but it's more like low key and
Low key, yeah, low key, yeah.
chill.
And when I went to Dallas, we went to the with like Gayborhood, I think
Yeah,
is what they call it. Yeah, and then Sue Ellen's. Yeah, it was a vibe in there. It was fun.
I went to Lauren Sanderson. She had a concert at Sue Ellen's, and Sue Ellen's is pretty tiny. So I was like, oh my God, Lauren Sanderson, you're right there. Hi. It was
I Lauren Sanderson was the first like gay artist that I before I even came out or whatever because somebody came into my job and they were like, "You look like this girl," and I was like, "Who is this?" And I looked her up and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I listened to her music and I was like obsessed immediately. So I love her.
yeah.
She was at Atlanta Pride too a couple years ago and we were hosting, but we didn't get to meet her. So
So what do you mean you were hosting?
we were hosting at our gay like lesbian bar in Atlanta. It's called My Sister's Room, and My Sister's Room had a event. They have an event every year, and Victoria and I were hosting like on stage.
Oh, period.
Just doing our thing. Yeah,
Dope. Cool.
that was fun.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the wedding. The wedding is very important, so I want us to talk about that.
Super important.
Something that is coming up, so we should talk about it. So yeah, it's coming up. You don't have to tell us the exact location, obviously, but like, where's it gonna be? What is the size of it? Where's the honeymoon? I know the last time we talked, you were like, we have no idea. So yeah.
I don't know if I have much of a update. No, but yeah, the wedding is officially in like 41 days, I want to say right now. So I don't know how long it is when this is live, but 41 days. It's in Miami, so it's where Victoria is from. We're not doing like the beach vibe. It's inland and it's like at a very modern what is it? Venue. And so yeah, like it we're so excited. We just had a call with our wedding planner. We got the final details ironed out. Overall, wedding planning has not been as stressful as I thought it was going to be, but we're almost there. So we're
Yep.
excited. And no, we don't know where we're honeymooning yet. So y'all give us suggestions because
I think I gave you suggestions.
you did, yeah. You said Turks and Caicos?
Mhm.
Yeah, we did look into that, or we're looking into it.
Yeah.
We're just like, I don't know, we're being picky, but it's like coming up, so we need to like
I mean,
figure it
it's
out.
like, it's understandable that y'all are being picky because it's your honeymoon, But
Yeah,
but yeah, since it's coming up, you're like, we need to figure this out.
yeah. But we do things like very last minute, and it works for us. So
Yeah, totally. So, would you say y'all's wedding is pretty big, or is it going to be like a pretty small wedding?
it's gonna be like 150 people. So I don't know. Some people consider that big. Some people it's small, but
I feel like that's
I mean, yeah, so the way that we did it is we each had like 75 people each, and then we just put them together and it was 150. But also our venue only allows for that much. So actually that was like, at first we were kind of disappointed about that, but it ended up being a good thing because then the list just keeps going and going and going, and you have to pay for every single person. So it actually worked out where we had to have like a cutoff and like, okay, we can't do anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that cutoff probably caused the planning of it to be less stressful. So that's probably good. It's probably a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like less people just, and we're working on the table like seating right now. And honestly, that's the hardest part. We're like, who should we put next to each other? Like who's gonna vibe with who? But we want people to like meet new people also. So we're working on that right
But
now.
you don't want it to be awkward where it's like they don't.
Yeah, exactly. But like the thing is like Victoria and I's families, first of all, a lot of our families and friends already have mingled in one way or another. Like, we had a big engagement party last year and it was in our backyard, and a lot of our families met like each other at that. And then we had our bachelorette party in Cancun, and our friends, like we did a joint one. So our friends all hung out and they literally are obsessed with each other. So
Aww.
like, it's not too much of a worry, but it's just like, how do we organize all this? We haven't had to do much because of the wedding planner, and now we actually have to do something. It's like, oh God.
You're like, I've been spoiled and now I actually have to do something.
I'm like, how do people plan whole weddings by themselves? I have no idea.
Oh my God, I don't know. It's people that enjoy planning and they're probably like organized like freaks and like go them. But yeah, no, I'd probably go crazy.
I feel like every part that Victoria and I have had to do on our by ourselves, something has happened. And I'm like, I can't imagine if we did this all on our like by ourselves. It would be horrible.
It's so funny. You'd have someone like sitting on the ground because you didn't have like enough seats.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, you gotta eat the leftovers in the back.
Oh my God, that'd be crazy. Okay, so you guys are starting the process of having a baby. Obviously that obviously looks different than, you know, with a heterosexual. Heterosexual? Is that the right word?
Did you forget that they exist?
It's like I'm thinking like, is that the right? Yeah, I haven't used that word in so long.
Yeah, it is heterosexual.
Hetero.
That sounds horrible, but yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm saying like a bad hetero. But what I'm trying to say is it hetero
It's a slur.
relationship or heterosexual relationship?
Oh. I mean, heterosexual, but you can shorten it, I guess. Hetero.
Didn't want to shorten
Straights.
it. Yeah, okay.
It's different for the straights.
Yeah, the straights. It's different than how the straights do it. So, what does the process of that look like?
Oh my gosh, the rabbit hole we could go down right now, I swear. We always, Victoria and I both knew we always wanted a family, you know, like that is number one priority for us both. But like you said, getting there, there's so many routes that you could take, even for straight couples, but especially for, you know, lesbians or gay guys or whatever. But we personally we have a donor. So we found our donor through this company, and it's called Seed Scout. And Seed Scout is basically like, they're a smaller company and they're founded by two a lesbian couple who, when they were doing their donor process, they found a lot of issues with the cryobanks. And like, to any listeners, like, no hate if you use a cryobank, like, at all. But when we did our research, it was a lot of things about cryobanks that we did not love. And especially us, like, you know, planning a whole wedding and spending so much money on this wedding, we were like, we can spend enough money on the future that we want for our child. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, like at cryobanks, just like at most things in this country, is just for money. It's just money. So you you have these kids, and even when I was in college, like my guy friends, they would go to the local wherever and get a couple $100, donate some sperm, and then be on their way. Like, didn't have to do any medical history, no tests, anything.
Yeah.
And who knows, like, all the babies that they have out there. And you've probably seen the documentaries lately. There's been like a couple.
I was about to say, there's a couple.
Yeah, like they all just started popping out, like these guys with like 1,000 babies, and there's no regulations on it, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, we ended up finding Seed Scout, and they're literally amazing. They take you through the whole entire process. They have a catalog of men. 85% of them are gay men, which was just like cool, you know, like a cool little fact.
Yeah.
Queers helping queers. We pick our donor. They have to do like a psych evaluation. We have to do a psych evaluation. We have lawyers, so it's like legally binding that they can only do a certain amount of donations and everything. So yeah, we have our donor. He's amazing. We met him on Zoom, and hopefully we're gonna meet him in person. But he's gonna, you know, donate his sperm pretty soon, and then we'll just have it ready. And after the wedding, I think we're gonna get started pretty soon and hope for the best. So
she hasn't fully started the process yet. Y'all are waiting.
Yeah, we've had like her fertility appointments, making sure that everything is good, like that she is fertile, and basically the next step is just when we're ready.
Yeah.
She has to see when she's ovulating, and then we call up our fertility doctor, and we tell her, okay, she's ovulating, and then they bring us in the next day, and then they inseminate her. So
yeah.
It's like whenever you're ready, like just come on in, and then we do it. And yeah, we're just so excited.
That is so crazy. Having a baby is like, it's like crazy. Like I think about it often. I'm like, it's crazy how us women, like our bodies can create a human. Like we can carry.
No, it's wild.
It's literally.
I don't know if you have any friends like now that are pregnant. You might not. Do you?
How old do you think I am?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm 25, so I'm still young. But
okay, yeah.
But I do, and I actually, my best friend actually just had a baby like a couple months ago. So.
Oh yeah. So your best friend, like, I was gonna say, now I'm to the age where my like close friends are having babies, where I'm literally watching them the whole 9 months, like go through the whole process, and I'm just like, holy shit, you grew that baby in your stomach, and now he's here. Like, what?
And
it's incredible.
Like, how does it fit in your belly? Like, I know that sounds so probably ignorant.
No, literally, no, I agree. We were saying the same thing. Like, what? Our friends Court and Lex, they just had their baby, and I would be like, Court, like, you have a whole child inside of you right now. Like, what? And then when he came out, I was like, how was he in you? You know, like, I can't. So I had the same questions.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy. Yeah, it's insane, but we're fucking badasses. We're so cool.
We are badasses. Like,
it's crazy. How did y'all agree who was gonna carry the baby? And like, since she's obviously carrying the baby this time, are you wanting to?
Yeah, so we both want to carry. So I'm gonna carry. The plan is right now that I'll go shortly after we have the baby. So we kind of want to do like a 2 under 2 situation.
Okay.
If everything goes to plan. And then if we want a third one, I have to carry twice. Victoria has delegated me to go 2 times because she's like, I'm one and done. And that's part of her, like, she has like health anxiety. So her anxiety is like, she, like, you know, when she gets like sick or something is like on her leg or whatever, she kind of like freaks out a little bit. You know, she gets anxious about it, which is completely fine. And so she's kind of worried about how she will feel when she's pregnant and then after and everything. So she just kind of wanted to go first and get it over with. And I was completely fine with that. So
I
So yes.
understand. I understand
Yeah.
what she's feeling. I'm literally the same way. I get, especially when I think about pregnancy, like having a child, because you hear these horror stories, and of course, like, she doesn't need to look into the horror
Yeah.
stories, but it's like there's these women that wake up and they're just sick for like the first 6 months of their pregnancy, and I'm like, or they're like, they feel weak because they literally have like a child like sucking the life out of them, in a good way, obviously, guys. I'm not,
Yeah.
in a,
No, literally. Like,
but
feeding off of you.
and it's just the thought of all the pressure, just pushing. I don't know.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, and like actually having the baby. Like, yeah, you're carrying the baby, but then there comes a point where you actually have to deliver the child. So that's like a whole other thing.
And it's like, how does a child come out of this? It's like, I don't understand. I don't
No.
understand it.
I'm like, no, nothing. Yeah, that's crazy. I can't. So, that's her anxiety. I have other things, so I get it. And I'm just like, yeah, baby, you go and you do it first, and then I'll do it after. And then if I want to go again, we'll do it again. But that's kind of how we decided that she'll just like go ahead and get it over with.
I get that. I probably want to get it
Yeah.
over with as well. So y'all are
Yeah.
wanting 2.
Well, we want 3, but
Duh.
I guess it's kind of just depending, but a twin situation would be dope too. But that would be a big belly.
That's
So,
exactly what I thought about. I mean, that would be so cute, but I immediately think of like 1 baby in there and then 2. But like I said, women are amazing. We could do it.
yeah, we could do anything.
Okay, so moving on. You guys are obviously content creators. When I say you guys, I mean you and your fiance, obviously. Do you guys have other jobs, or do y'all specifically focus on content?
So Victoria is a full-time content creator. She was in the medical field, but honestly, she did not enjoy it at all. So when she realized that she could do this full time, she did like we talked about it a lot, but she ended up doing full send, doing content full time, and she has thrived in it. So she does do it full time. For me, I don't make any money from content. Like, yeah, I post, but I don't make my money from like posting.
Yeah.
Here and there, yes, but so I do have like a 9 to 5, I guess you could say, and I work in clinical research. So that's why I'm always traveling. I know, if anybody is familiar, I'm always like, I'm gone. We always talk about it, especially on our YouTube, and everybody asks, what do you do for work? So yeah, I work in clinical research, and I basically manage research sites around the US and just make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then I also am a personal trainer. I do online coaching, and I have an app for that. So I do make now some income from that as well.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit for sure, because I'm interested in knowing about that. So when you guys, so how do I word this? So did you guys blow up once y'all started dating, or were you like individually already like gaining followers on social media, and she was already gaining followers, and then y'all kind of just came in and then kept blowing up, or you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So basically, we had already been dating, when we like really blew up. But like I kind of touched on it briefly before, but like Victoria was like known on Twitter, like whatever that means now, I don't know. But like if you have like, I don't know how many followers, but whatever, people would like know her from Twitter.
Yeah.
So like she's always been a content girl, even very like relatable. The tweets were sometimes just funny, but like also she would make videos. Like she would just make videos of her family trips. She would make videos when we started dating of us constantly recording, but like there was no like avenue to really put them. Yeah, she could put them on YouTube or something, but like there was no avenue for her to like post them. But she would send them to me and just always have videos. So she so she would post on Twitter and stuff, but we were dating, and then when we were on Twitter, and all like these TikToks would keep ending up on Twitter, and they would be like hilarious or whatever. So I'm like, let me go see what they're doing over there, because obviously it's funny, you know. They keep ending up on Twitter. So I got TikTok first, and that was back when everybody was like, nah, that's for kids or whatever. And I was like, bro, it's funny. I don't care. Like,
You said, I'm on it.
I'm on it. Like, y'all need to get over here. So I was just like, scroll. And when it first came out, like, I don't know if this was just my For You page, but I feel like it was just TikTok in general. The lesbian population was very big.
It was, yeah.
Is that like just because we're gay, or I don't know?
Maybe.
For You page. But I feel like, no, like, I don't know. But I was like, hella lesbians, even though they were like young and stuff compared to me. But like, it was just like a vibe. So I was posting just stupid shit, you know, and I would just like show Victoria funny videos or whatever. And then finally she ended up downloading it. And like, for whatever reason, her video, like, I think it was literally the first video that she posted, or maybe like second or third, but it blew the fuck up. And back then it was like very easy to grow, you know, when you had a viral video, it was like the followers were coming in. So then she started posting like videos of us on date night and stuff, and it kind of just like kept going. And then I don't know, and then that was it, you know. We just kept posting, and now we're here. But it was mainly like on her page, because again, she's the content girl. Like, she knows the clips to get, she knows how to put them together. Like, she's very talented.
Totally. Would you say like having a relationship online has put a lot of stress on you? And not just you, but like also her. And if so, like, what kind of stress, and how do y'all deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it definitely was something at the beginning of our relationship, when we did start to gain followers and things, that we had to talk about. I'm very like, I don't love like a lot of attention. And like I said before, I like in high school, I would be on Tumblr, I'd be on YouTube watching lesbian couples who would be posting, and then they would break up.
Yeah.
Which they were probably going to break up anyway, but you think, and you have this thing in your head that because they are posting, that's why they broke up.
Yeah.
Which in some cases, that's probably what it was, and then in some cases, maybe not. But so I was very hesitant at first, and I was just like, you know, we had a lot of talks, especially before we started YouTube. Like, I was like, I don't know, you know, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Like, we have to put our relationship first. Everybody ends up breaking up, you know, what if it's a curse, and
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. So, I think, you know, and being perceived by so many people, I've gotten a lot more comfortable with it now. But just being perceived, and the chance of the negative perception that people can start to build and then just snowball off of each other was very scary.
Yeah.
Because one thing that like Victoria and I know a lot about is the internet. Like, is how people work on the internet, and if one person starts hating on you and other people see that, ooh, the floodgates are open, girl. You know.
Like, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
How they just jump on the bandwagon.
Yes, exactly. And so, you know, there was definitely a lot of conversations, a lot of communication, always, and still to this day, you know, open communication, um, pressure, you know, pressure to, and if anybody watches our YouTube or whatever, we mostly touch on this on our YouTube, that like, we are not perfect. By no means do we want it to look that way. Yes, of course, we post cute videos and stuff, but like we're just a normal couple. We argue, we communicate, you know what I'm saying?
Totally, yeah.
So I think like at some points there has been this like pressure that people like they'll be like, "Oh, you're perfect" or whatever, and we always are like, "No, we're not. We're not perfect."
Yeah, and it's like, of course, you guys are gonna post the good on social media. It's like, of course you are. And honestly, I mean, I see people post about this all the time, but even people that I've had on my podcast or just people I've talked to that are influencers or content creators, whatever. Some people don't like to be called influencers, so I gotta watch what I say. But yeah, so I've talked to a lot of people and they're like, yeah, well, of course, like I'm gonna post, like, you know, whenever I'm feeling super motivated, I'm gonna post a video of me getting up at 6 a.m, going to the gym, eating healthy, you know, all this stuff. And she's like, but the majority of the days, like, yes, I'm still trying to have a healthy lifestyle, but like, I'm still eating those sweets or going to Cane's and fucking, you know, scarfing that down. And, you know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I feel like that is a misconception for sure. You know, I get it.
And like that's why social media I think is amazing. I think it's brought the world closer. We get to share our especially TikTok. Like we see so many different perspectives. It brings us together, but it also is so dangerous. You have to tread so lightly on social media in general, and you have to be careful of what you're consuming, and you have to understand that the influencers, content creators that you're following, you have to know that it's content, you know, like I mean, it is real life, but it's not like it's fake, but it's also like you're not going to post a video of y'all like fighting or arguing or something, you know?
Yeah, it's like
So it's
podcast. I'm gonna edit out the times that
exactly. Even just like little bits. It's like, oh, you know, that was so smooth, but little do you know we had to do all this other stuff.
Exactly. They're like,
Yeah, exactly. That was
podcast, and it's like I literally stuttered the first 5 seconds.
Exactly. So, and I think that has a lot. I think that we should start putting. Oh, I do agree that you know, content creators, people with a big following, we have a responsibility to be responsible with our platform. I also think that consumers of content should also be mindful and you know take accountability of like you know how some people it's like you have to explain every little thing and it's like come on
It's
come
so
on
frustrating.
yeah so yeah back to the original question the pressure I think at one point you know I felt it very heavy like right around the time that we got engaged actually it was overwhelmingly positive energy and positive comments but then I was like oh my gosh like do you guys think that we're just like perfection you know what I'm saying so
No, I get
it does come with that but
I get it. I totally get
yeah
it 100%.
yeah
And I honestly I feel like it's and there's no shame in the people that are like totally oblivious to like these things, but it's like I feel like it takes people that like do some do somewhat create content to understand like that like they can see a couple or see a person on social media and be like their life looks amazing, but I'm also going to be realistic and know that I post things to make myself
yeah
look good, but that's not what I do every single day, or that's definitely
yeah
how I look every single day. You know what I mean? I feel like
yeah
it takes either someone that does content or just someone that can just kind of, you know, be mindful,
yeah
think out, be demure. Is that
I was like holding myself back from saying that
someone that just can think outside of the box? Someone that's just like,
right
you get what I'm saying?
yeah and it's so interesting that you bring that up because I always think about that I've been on both sides like I was the one like I said, sitting watching YouTube couples and being like, holy shit, they're perfect, blah, 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 blah. And then now being on the other side, it's like, no, they're just posting, you know, like,
It's
you know,
like,
they're so
I don't know if
regular.
you probably do the Ace Family.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everyone knows them, but I will say that I used to watch them. I did in college. That was like a couple years ago. Okay, I did watch them.
Okay, now that we've had the confessional, proceed.
And I really loved them, and it was so sad. And I mean, the fact that he was so overboard with things, like I kind of knew, I kind of had a feeling something was going on.
You weren't surprised.
Yeah, and then I remember, I think he's the editor, like he edits things, and I think he accidentally left like a clip in of him being like an asshole to her, and people were like, oh my god, and then that's when they kind of went MIA, and then they got a divorce.
And like, granted, that's crazy. I mean, like, nothing like that is happening over here, but like, you know, like, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that's a good example. People see the Ace family, not now,
and they think
like, oh, they're such a beautiful family, and then it's like shit goes down, and they're like, oh, I should have, like, why did I think they were perfect? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
What would you say are some of the craziest comments that your followers have said on y'all's videos?
Oh my god. Craziest comments. Okay. Well, obviously you have like the hateful ones where it's like, you know, when the TikToks or the YouTube shorts or whatever, they get on the wrong side and they are just, I mean, come on. They're just going
how
crazy.
do they get on the wrong side?
Well, honestly, it's just like when they go super viral and then they just like keep going like more and more viral, like it's bound to reach somebody else other than the people it normally reaches. So, but honestly, you know, those comments, they're crazy. You know, they start talking about how we're going to hell. You know, those are normal though. I mean, they're not normal, but like they happen. So you know, you have those. But craziest comments are probably on Twitter. I was just like, you know, well, like, because Victoria still she still posts on Twitter too. Okay. They're just like comments about like. Oh God, I don't even look. They just be saying like, basically just how we are in bed and or what they think that we are like in bed.
Listeners want to know specifically.
Oh my god, so on Twitter, but you know, like Twitter is just funny and they're just joked out and stuff, and they just be like, oh, I know the white one's putting her through the mattress and stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know about that, but y'all go. Be like, just go for it. Or like, they just like, you know, they just sexualize everything. So those are probably the craziest comments are over on Twitter on our videos. But
I was about to say, I bet they are super sexualized. And
yeah, they are. Like, because you could say anything on Twitter. Like, nothing is
yeah, like it won't get taken
off limits. Yeah. So I think those are the craziest. I can't think of anything like crazier elsewhere other than like hate comments and saying that we're gonna go to hell and stuff about us being interracial and all of that.
So stupid.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
That's funny. You were struggling to say that.
I was because it's just. I can't think of them, but they be crazy over there on Twitter.
I bet they, that's why I asked, because I literally, like, I bet it is crazy. You guys are probably also sexualized. Gizmo, do you have to scratch yourself right now?
Oh, Gizmo. Oh, wait, that's a different one.
It's my dog. Yeah.
Oh.
He's the cutest. He's also a cleaner. Okay, so we're gonna jump into the online coaching, your fitness app, all that stuff. We've been talking about you and your girl, and I kind of want to, focus on you. So I saw you launched a fitness app. That was, how long ago was that?
I think I launched it February of this year.
Okay.
So, yeah, almost a year, maybe like 8 months ago.
Okay.
Is that right?
And you do online coaching through the app. So how did you get into that? What does online like coaching consist of? Like if somebody were to literally go on the app, like what would they see?
So my page is on an app and it's called Playbook. So there's a bunch of online coaches on there. So if you sign up on my page, you still have access to any other coach that you would want to see. So when I first started my fitness journey, I was following Momo Muscles, her app, her page on Playbook. I love her. She literally taught me most everything that I know. And now we're like really cool and everything. So shout out to Momo.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. Love you. So yeah, I mean, I started on my fitness journey back, I think June 2022. Victoria and I, we did 75 soft. So it was like 75 hard challenge, but we like amended the rules to make it more like doable so that we would actually do it. And yeah, basically, I like, it's corny, but like my whole life changed, honestly, because I actually did it and I stuck to it. And I like lost a bunch of weight and then I started building muscle and I just fell in love with it. I started seeing progress that I had never seen before. So like a lot of my clients who are on the app, it's like I like to gear my content and my workout programs to people who, well, to beginners a lot of times,
Okay.
or people, who were like me, who is like, I've been in the gym a bunch. Like I always went to the gym, but I didn't know what I was doing. And I had a lot of like misconceptions about fitness and how to lose weight and how to get toned and how to do these things that I think a lot of people, especially women, have. Just because who knows, society hates us, but um so yeah, I would go, I was obsessed with like just doing cardio for like 45 minutes on the Stairmaster, sweating my ass off and thinking that that was like gonna get me to reach my goals when all that was really doing is making me dread going to the gym. Like, like if you know that when you get to the gym and you have to run for like an hour or like be on the Stairmaster for an hour and like that sounds horrible, you know?
It's literally me right now. Like that's what I do.
Yeah.
I go and I run for an hour and I'm like,
No, no, you need to come on over to the dark side because I got you. It's actually the light side. Because yeah, I don't know what, we just think, and believe me, I thought that too, that cardio and running was going to be the only thing that is going to help you lose weight. And then, we have this misconception of lifting weights and like you don't want to get like big or like bulky or whatever. And then also like with food, when I would start trying to like eat healthy, I would be like starving myself or just only eating salads, and then you can't be consistent. So I started like really learning a lot about science-based lifting, science-based nutrition, and teaching myself and being consistent. And so I got my certification in personal training. So now on my app, it's full workouts. So you can choose, like, I have different programs that you can choose from. Like, I have one that's like, it's geared towards masculine presenting people, and then one that's like feminine presenting people if you want to do those.
cool.
I also post my workouts that I do every day. I have like a dumbbell only or a beginner program that you can start with. And then I also have like just like videos of me talking. They're like short videos, like a minute, of like like tips and tricks on like how to make your fitness journey successful, and like kind of going into a little bit of the misconceptions that we have, or I also have like a breakdown of like what macros are and why they're important. But I do everything that's like very easy to understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what you will find if you if you join my app.
Period. You and my
Yeah.
partner, y'all are so similar when it comes to like y'all's story, when it comes to like working out and all that stuff. Like, I don't know, it's crazy. Like she would go to the gym, you know, like she was in the gym. She just didn't really know what she was doing. And then
Mhm.
she just got on it. And she's like, it's crazy. Like I smile thinking about it because she is such a happier person now. Like she was happier then, you know, but like
Yeah.
she started seeing the progress. She was like, oh damn, like I'm actually like, you know, I can see like what's happening.
Mhm.
Anyways, and so now she's like super educated about like all of this stuff, and she knows specifically what to eat and like what she needs to work out and like stretches before and like certain, you know, if you're doing a certain, I don't know, exercise, you have to make sure your back is straight or it's like leaned over,
Yeah.
whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
So I get it. I understand, but it's really interesting. And I feel like it takes a while and it takes a lot to be educated about that stuff.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and like once you start loving it, like it sounds like your girlfriend started to do, like you just like want to learn more and more, and yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I just think about like everything that I used to think, and like so now, and I want to teach people because I'm like, if I can do it, like my whole life I was overweight. I was overweight as a child. I got bullied like crazy. In college, I was way overweight. I was like, yeah, I didn't even realize it honestly in college, but like looking back now, I was like crazy. And then when I first started working out, I was like losing a lot of weight, like too much. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, and then it's just like a journey. And then now, like with lifting, like I like to tell even like feminine women or feminine presenting people, like lifting is so beneficial because everybody always talks about I want to get that toned look, but I don't want to get too bulky. Well, I always tell people in order to get bulky, you have to lift a lot. Like it's not easy to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? So if you start lifting, I just feel like it's and it's easier. Like it's easier than going and running for an hour. Like I promise.
I was talking to my partner about this because she took me to the gym. Okay, here's the thing. Like I said, I go to the gym, but I do cardio because
Yeah.
me, like, and that's the funny thing. I'm like, I'm wanting to tone up, but like, I need to lose weight first. Like, I don't know. I feel like I need to lose weight in some areas to then, you know, build muscle. So I'm just gonna do cardio now, and then once I lose the weight, I'm gonna start doing weights. And she's like, no. But I went to the gym. I went to the gym with her, and I did leg day with her. And I could keep up, but I was like, I could keep up, but I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have done all the
Oh yeah.
that she did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was just dead. But
Yeah, you got to be careful about that too.
yeah.
And like with like lifting weights, it burns the same, if not more, calories than it would if you're just like doing cardio. And like, I mean, I'm sure your partner has told you all of that. Like now, I'm just like,
Because my listeners are listening. But
yeah, okay, yeah. So I used to have that same, like, I literally like you are me, I am you. I would be like, I need to lose the weight first, and then I will start building muscle. But the weight was never coming off. So number one, obviously, and you know this, but the weight, like fat loss, comes from your diet.
yeah,
Like
that's the
you
hard
have
part.
to, yeah, like you have, and I go into that on my app too. Like I have videos talking about it, but you have to just be in a calorie deficit. So consume less calories than you're burning. But when you go to the gym, that's how you build muscle. And when you build muscle, your body at rest with more muscle is burning more calories than a body without a lot of muscle. So then you're just contributing to your blah, 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 blah. I could go on for hours,
No,
but no.
I totally get it. Yeah, and that's what I was. And that's what I was going to say earlier. I think I do cardio as well. Like, I think, number one, I played soccer my whole life. So, like, cardio was just the thing that I did. And I'm good at it. So, I just do it. The thought of doing it, I'm like, ugh, but I'm good at it. So, that's what I do. I think I do cardio because it exhausts me. And weights, I don't feel as tired.
Yeah.
And so, I'm like that.
Did I even do anything? Yeah.
I'm like, well, that was difficult. Like, yes, like that was hard, but I'm not like sweating my balls off like I do the cardio. So I'm like, I feel like I'm not doing enough when I do weights, you know?
Oh, I feel you. I literally feel you. Yes, that's exactly how I used to feel like. But, you know, you can always end with cardio and you can make yourself sweat, and that's actually really good. Like, always end in cardio, and then it's contributing to fat loss too. So,
yeah, my partner, she always ends in cardio and then a sauna for like 25 minutes. And I'm like,
oh, hell yeah. I be sweating too much for saunas. Like, I'm already sweating, so I'm good. But
yeah, I'm like,
it does feel good after you get out of there.
oh, that's what she says. She's like, I stay in there until I'm like about to pass out. And then right when I get out, I'm feeling good. And I'm like, you're crazy.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, you're crazy. But it works for her. So that's it. That's all that matters. Okay. What are your views on like super strict diets? Like if someone told you that they like let's say they're on a calorie deficit, but it's like extremely low. They're working out like, I don't know what a crazy amount is, like 2 times a day for 7 days a week. Is that crazy?
2 times, yeah, to me, that's crazy, yes.
I mean, I think so too. I just was like, oh, I don't, maybe you're.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
What are your views on that? Like people that are like, they have like their no foods. Like I absolutely can't eat that. And the reason I ask is because I see you guys, you and your girl, y'all do be eating. Like y'all, like obviously
I be eating. I be eating.
Y'all are like on your shit, but I also see you guys like, I sound like a creeper. I'm sorry. I just see your post.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, no, I get it.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that because I also don't want to be like, putting out toxic, diet culture, right? So, like, what Victoria and I do, and what works for us is, and like I said, like I've been overweight. Like I like to eat. Like we are both big foodies. Like like that's just our thing. We love to try new foods. We love to go out. We love to eat good. And so when I was on my fitness journey, I have to find something, and this is for everybody. Like you want to find something that you can maintain for the rest of your life. You don't want to completely cut out foods. Like people are so afraid of carbs or pasta or bread. That's another misconception. Like you literally need carbs to build muscle if that's your goal.
Yeah.
I'm talking from a muscle building perspective, but like, so, and like cutting out foods completely is you're not going to be able to maintain that forever. And like I said before, like not eating enough, you're going to get so hungry and then you're going to binge. For me, I'm speaking from experience, but like, then you're going to like go crazy, during the weekend. So what I do, and on my app, I also share like my full grocery list with, whoever's on there. So all of my ingredients are basically just the healthiest versions or the lowest calorie, highest protein versions of every ingredient that you normally have.
Okay.
That you can like interchange in any recipe. So it's like I eat bread. I just eat 35 calorie bread. That tastes amazing. I eat like instead of sour cream, I eat Greek yogurt. Instead of regular beef, I eat lean beef. Like, so I'm cooking normal meals. We eat nachos. We eat frozen French fries, frozen chicken nuggets all the time. But like, I just find those ingredients at the store that are the lowest calorie and highest in protein so that way I don't even have to worry about it.
And I feel like people forget that. I feel like people literally think like, okay, I have to eat chicken and rice every single day. And like the fact of the matter is you can literally find food that is lower calories, higher protein, and you can still eat what you want to eat.
You can eat anything. Like, you can eat anything you want. Like I said, like, we have we live and okay, and other personal trainers and like fitness coaches will not tell you this because other people are coming from a standpoint of like being like actually healthy. And I understand that. And but for me and for a lot of people who are just trying to maintain their weight loss, who have struggled with their weight their entire life, which is a lot of people,
Yeah.
This is what is going to work. Like, I drink no sugar, like zero sugar Coke. Like, I have at least one a day. Other people will tell you don't drink that. It's bad for you. I get it. But for me, I eat everything that I want to eat, but I just have the better alternative for it.
Totally.
And like portion control and everything. So, what I would say to people who are like overdoing it is that might work for you for a couple weeks or whatever, but it's not going to work for you forever. And then, everything is, you're going to get tired from going to the gym too much. You're not going to have energy. You're going to crash out and you're going to go back to your old ways anyway. So you might as well just try something else.
Yeah. And I feel like, honestly, finding that moderation is honestly really hard. And I feel like that is why a lot of people, they go through these diets and stuff, or they work out a ton and then they get burnt out because it's unrealistic. They're like, damn, I'm trying to eat super healthy every single day, but I don't like these foods,
Yeah, exactly. And like, I used to think like, oh, salad is like the best thing, but a lot of times you eat a salad and everything on top of it the salad is like way higher in calorie than just eating a literal cheeseburger. So it's like
cheeseburger.
No, literally, it's like eat the cheeseburger. Like, once you start understanding foods and like everything, it becomes so much easier and it's so much easier to maintain. So
yeah, no, I totally get that. So what advice would you give on how to stay motivated and like dedicated? I know we were just talking about like you not being super strict on yourself, but like do you have any other advice on how to just stick with it?
Yeah, I mean, I always say the way that I started is, like I said, we did 75 soft. So, basically what that is, if you guys don't know, is for 75 days, we had rules, it was like 4 rules, but you choose a diet and you stick to it. So the only thing that we had during that time was no fried foods, but everything else was game.
Free game.
Yeah, like we were like, okay, no fried foods. We drank a gallon of water every day. We worked out every single day during that time. I can't remember our other rules, but so we knew that we were gonna do it. We set a date. So like today is the 30th. We set a date like a month away. We were like, on this date we're gonna start, and that allowed us to like mentally prepare. We started working out a little bit. We started maybe like eating a little bit better during this time, but we weren't completely doing all of our rules. But we knew that date was coming up and we weren't going to change that date. And then, that's how we kind of got started. I felt like that was like a really good way because, like I said, we just like mentally prepared. Like, it can be like scary. And if you say like, I'm going to do it tomorrow, that might work, but then you don't really have time to like really grasp what you're about to do,
And I feel like having someone to do it with.
Yes.
So like that's
I mean, obviously like having like if you don't have a partner, or maybe a friend that wants to do it with you or a family member, I think that is really, really helpful because you guys can really keep each other on track. But like if you're really serious about it, you guys both got to really keep each other on track. Like Victoria and I were like on each other constantly. Like we did not skip a day.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, like it really worked for us. I mean, this is our experience too, but other people may not have had the best experience like we did, but yeah, but like keeping motivated, I think what really helped me was like taking progress pictures because I personally, I don't really step on the scale at all because I have PTSD from being a fat child. So I like won't get on the scale. And also, if you're doing what I did, which is like losing weight and building muscle at the same time, sometimes the scale won't move because it's just, you're just redistributing the weight.
Yeah.
So that might like discourage you if you don't see the scale moving. But when you take progress pictures, you can see your body changing in ways that you might not normally see it, like
Totally.
in the mirror.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, and then other than that, even when you're not motivated, just go do it. Like, and why I'm talking about the 75 hard or 75 soft is because for me it took, I think probably like day 40, like a little bit over halfway through is when I it was just like normal for me to get up every day and do it.
Yeah.
So I needed at least those like first 40 days to like make myself do it no matter what. And then after that, I was like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just staying consistent until you feel like you really like want to do it.
And I feel like humans are just, we thrive in routine. And once, like, I don't know what the saying is. It's like you get in the routine of something for 2 weeks and your body starts to like I forgot what the quote is, but it's like,
Yeah.
And honestly, it's like you just have to get to that point. You know, you just have to get to that point. And once you get to that point, your body will start like being in the routine of it. Like it's just normal. It's a normal thing.
Literally.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that, I think the quote is like 21 days or something. For me, it was a little bit longer than that. I'm not going to lie. So that's why I say like, just keep going until you really feel that. And then I feel like, and then it just becomes like, you know, regular for you.
Every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so do you have anything cool, interesting coming up, you or your fiance? Something, I don't know, anything interesting that you want to share?
Anything interesting?
Like exciting, like opportunities.
Um, well, I don't know. Oh, I think I talked about this on the phone when I was like, I don't know if I should say it, but just say it. Okay. Well, obviously, y'all know we have the wedding. We're gonna have a baby. So all of that. But we also were thinking we possibly might start a podcast. But that's like up in the air. So possibly we have a concept and we've been talking about it for a little bit, but you know, it's just about like executing it, making sure it's, you know, podcast ready. But be on the lookout for that maybe in the near future.
That's awesome. If you guys, I mean, I bet you have friends that do podcasts and stuff, but if y'all need any help navigating that, I can help you.
Oh yeah, I would love it. That would be amazing. We can use all the help that we could get. Yeah. So
well, I got you. Just let me know. Well, cool. That's exciting. I did not see that coming. It's funny. Earlier in our episode, I forgot what we were talking about, but I was literally gonna be like, well, I forgot what we were talking about, but I was gonna say you guys need to start a podcast. Like I feel like you guys are hilarious. I think we were talking about y'all's content, and I was just thinking about how funny you guys were, and I was just gonna be like, y'all would.
Yeah, I know. I want like our concept is really good. I think so. But yeah, but obviously you know how busy we are right now, so I'm just like, when are we gonna be able to do a podcast? But you know, who knows? So
yeah,
that might be in the future.
Well, that's exciting. That's so cool. Well, awesome. Well, yeah, that's it. That's the end of our podcast. Sorry it took a little longer. You know, we're yapping. But I want to say
it's so much fun.
Thank you for coming. Good. I'm glad you had fun. I know you're busy. Literally, the wedding is in 41 days. So, anyways, I just want to say thank you because I know you're busy. And yeah, and
thank you for having me. This was so fun. I had such a good time talking to you.
Good. I'm happy. If you want to drop your socials, tell us where everyone can find you and your wifey if you want.
Okay. All right, yeah, we are on all social media platforms. Victoria, my wife's or fiance's,
Yeah.
I always just say wife,
Yeah.
just get used to it.
Yeah.
My wife's socials are at Victo_Willie on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And my social is at BennyBaby_. I also have at BennyBabyLifts_ for my fitness page. And then you can find us on YouTube, Victoria and Lindsay. Just search it up. I think we'll pop up.
Period. Okay, well, thank you again. I'm gonna close this out because we've been talking for way too long. But for my listeners,
No, Pat.
I know it's literally an hour and 45 minutes.
That's insane. I love it though. It was fun.
No, I told you it wouldn't go over like an hour and 30. I'm sorry.
Fine.
Okay, so for my listeners, I try to post like every Monday. So stay tuned. I have some cool people coming on. And yeah. All right. Peace out.